Beneath the darkened sky, the snow-covered land itself seemed to be glowing with cold, white light. The scene is like something out of a fairy tale, but Koji only it serves an unpleasant reminder that he stepped outside of the reality that he knows. Next to the front porch is a plain wooden door, half buried in the ground. It's locked, of course, but Koji sees no reason for restraint after what Fuminoi did to the front door. The door offers surprisingly little resistance to Koji's heavy kick, breaking open easily to reveal a set of concrete stairs leading down to a pitch-black basement. My thoughts exactly, bud. Koji would prefer to leave searching such a suspicious place to Fuminori, but it's not like he can just ask him to do so. With the beam of his flashlight leading the way, Koji descends into the chilly darkness. There turns out to be nothing in the basement but a storage room and a boiler, exactly what one would expect to find in an isolated mountain cabin. The few packages of preserved food sitting on the shelves have long since passed their expiration dates, and the boiler doesn't appear to have been used in years. To Koji, Ugi's mountain home seemed to have been abandoned longer than the house in Tokyo. Was Fuminoi simply mistaken when he said that Ugi might be here? Or was he lying from the beginning? Not sure what to do next. Koji goes back upstairs and walks around to the outside of the cabin. There he finds the backyard. Is there going to be a little girl that climbs out of that? It's in much worse condition than the front yard, having already been mostly reclaimed by the forest. It must have been abandoned even when the cabin was still in use. The remnants of a woodshed lie in the yard, the mushrooms growing on it, speaking to how much time has passed over since its collapse. Next to the rotten logs, however, stands a circle of stone that is yet to succumb to the elements. A well. It has no bucket or pulley, of course, and when Koji carefully approaches and looks into it, he sees that the water is no longer flowing. It's probably less than 10 meters deep, depending on how much mud is piled up inside of it. Koji's search of the cabin has revealed nothing of interest, inside or out. Leaning against the edge of the well, Koji wonders what Ogi had brought to this remote home deep in the mountains, and what he was doing here. As far as Koji could tell, there's no sign that more than one person stayed here for any length of time. It's far from prying eyes. Fuminori's words play back in Koji's head. Could this have been some sort of secret refuge? Or could it have been used as a place to keep things hidden from the world? If so, that would explain why there's nothing to suggest that whoever lived here did anything more than eat and sleep. Koji suddenly remembers the doctor he met yesterday at T University. Maybe she'd know something. He takes out his phone and calls up the newly stored number. There's barely a signal, but it manages to get through. Koji's hopes are soon dashed, however, when his call goes straight to Dr. Tenbo's voicemail. He considers calling back later, but realizes that it would be hard to talk to her with Fuminori around. Fuminori would not be at all pleased to find out that Koji and Yo went to see his doctor. Koji decides that he better tell the doctor what he can while he's still alone. Hello, this is Tono Koji. Thank you for your help the other day. Koji leaves a clear and concise message explaining that he was brought by Fuminori to Professor Ogi's mountain retreat, giving the address and asking confirmation that the property actually belongs to Ogi. I'll call again when I get back to Tokyo. Goodbye. After hanging up, Koji thinks back to their visit to the hospital. Is Dr. Tenbro actually investigating like she said she would? The secret about Professor Ogi that she adamantly refused to reveal is still weighing on his mind. He talked to Yo about it on the way home, but they were unable to decide whether the doctor could really be trusted. Speaking of which, how is Yo doing? Koji hasn't seen her today. Well, she has a tentacle dick in her. He didn't say a word to her about his trip to Tochigi. She might be worried, especially so soon after Umi's disappearance. Thinking to check up on her, Koji dials Yo's number, and is surprised when it keeps ringing, longer than it usually does. Did she forget her phone somewhere? Just as he's about to give up, the call connects. Whoa. The first thing Koji hears is a strange sound. It's not signal interference, but some kind of wet, distorted noise, like the voiceless groans, or perhaps sobs, of someone far away. No, these really are sobs. Whoever is on the other side is crying in misery. Is that you? Who? There's a response, but is that really Candy's voice? It's too twisted with the agony for Koji to really tell. Panic surges through Koji as he realizes that something is terribly wrong. It's Koji. Tono Koji. Your name. Is that you? Where are you? After a short period of nothing but pained moans, words start coming through the speaker one by one, as though each takes an act of will. I was attacked by a monster, and now there's something wrong with my body. What? What happened? Hey, are you alright? You must be delirious or something. Yo must be delirious or something, because Koji can't understand the things she's saying. Her gasps and wheezes, however, are enough to tell him that she's in unimaginable pain. I'm rotting away. My skin is melting. My ear just came off. Unable to make any more sense of this, Koji feels despair seizing his heart in an iron grip. What the hell is happening to Yo now? Over 100 kilometers away. Only her voice gives Koji any hint of what she's going through, and there's nothing he can do for her. Help me, Tono-kun. This... This isn't how my fingers are supposed to look. Call the cops. Call for help. No, I can't let anyone see me like this. Yo suddenly breaks off in a violent hacking cough, as though she's trying to expel something filling her throat. Oh, is it just pronounced succuba? Koji screamed into the phone, his reason overwhelmed by the unimaginable horror that befell Yo, which is why he's unable to react quickly when the phone is suddenly knocked out of his hand, and also why he didn't notice Fuminoe sneaking up on him until it was too late. What? Fuminoe seizes Ko's lower jaw with his right hand, cutting off Koji's angry shout. Koji can hardly believe the strength of the smaller man's grip. Koji's biggest mistake was leaning back into the well. With Fuminoe forcing him backwards over the edge, there is nothing Koji can grab onto. He can only flail his arms vainly against the air. Koji soon loses his balance completely. He falls into a terrifying... He feels a terrifying weightlessness as the world spins before his eyes. Before he can realize that he's been pushed into the well, his back strikes something with tremendous force. He thrashes wildly as cold, dirty water fills his mouth and freezing him to the core. Only when his fingers find the wall of the well he's able to regain his sense of direction and right himself. On his hands and knees in the mud, Koji vomits the filthy water out of his lungs. Although the mud cushioned his fall, he has more important things to worry about than being improperly thankful for his good luck. Fuminoe! He tries to shout, but it comes out as a hoarse groan, made even harder to understand by the echoes bouncing off the walls. Fuminoe's maniacal laughter, on the other hand, is clearly audible, even at the bottom of the well. Sorry for interrupting your phone call, he says scornfully. Here, I'll return this. Fuminoe tosses Koji's phone into the well. Koji catches it just before it hits him in the face, but he finds that the battery pack has been removed, rendering it useless. What the hell are you doing? This is no joke. It's a miracle that Koji's uninjured. If he landed the wrong way, he could have easily died. Wait, just because I'm not hurt doesn't mean that... Koji feels around inside of the well, searching for something to hold on to, but the mud-covered stone offers no purchase. It's obvious that he won't be able to get out of this without help. If you had died on impact, you wouldn't have had to suffer. You really have no luck, Koji. Hey, are you serious? Koji was about to ask, but the pieces have finally come together in his head. Today's sudden change in Fuminoe's attitude, that smile he always seemed somehow malevolent. Whatever the word means for angry ghost. Fuminoe hadn't been smiling at Koji with the thought of his friend's death. Why? Even though he recognizes what has happened, he can't understand it. Why would Fuminoe, who was supposed to be his friend, try to kill him? True, Fuminoe had wanted Koji to stay out of his business, but is that really a motive for murder? It's not that I needed you dead right now, exactly, but you could have become trouble later on. So I figured that I might as well take advantage of this secluded place to, well... Might as well? You're doing this on a whim? Do you really need a reason to die? Fuminoe replies coldly, as though he's truly amazed that Koji would ask such a thing. Do you really think you're special, Koji? People die for no reason at all. You know, my parents did, and I almost followed them. You're crazy! If you want a reason so badly, come up with one yourself. You'll have plenty of time down there, won't you? Fuminori disappears from view, leaving Koji alone in the darkness with nothing to connect him to the outside world. Fuminori! Hey! Fuminori! Koji shouts at the top of his lungs, knowing beyond a doubt that if Fuminori leaves, all hope of rescue will vanish with him. No one will ever hear him calling for help from the bottom of a mountain well. It's Tsukuba. She's in trouble. Hurry, Fuminori. Listen! Let me out of here! In his desperation, Koji no longer comprehends the futility of begging Fuminori for mercy. No god or devil will answer him. His only hope is that Fuminori will have a change of heart. As though praying for a miracle, he keeps calling Fuminori's name. Eventually the sky becomes as dark as the bottom of the well, making it impossible for Koji to make out the edge of the opening. He has long since lost track of how many hours he has been screaming. Nevertheless, he continues to scream, for he knows that the despair of silence will bring will kill him. Wow. Wow. I feel great. This is the satisfaction of having found the perfect solution to a difficult problem. The feeling that you get when the last piece of the puzzle slides smoothly into place. I have killed a man, and no one will ever know. The path back to civilization seems awfully long, but neither the cold nor the exhaustion can ruin my good mood as I walk by myself down the snow-covered mountain road. I was tempted to use Koji's car, but that would have introduced a flaw into the plan. The cabin is a perfect place to hide both Koji's corpse and his car, after all. The plan had formed in my mind the moment that I had looked at the address and realized how remote the location was. Even if I couldn't find anything to lead me to Professor Ogi, his absence would at least prove that the cabin had been utterly abandoned, in which case it would be the perfect spot to take care of a problem. I knew that coming all the way out to Tochigi wouldn't be a waste of time. I didn't even need to use a meat cleaver. Use the meat cleaver that's hidden in my clothes. A dry well that's like fate itself provided me with the perfect setting. That idiot didn't even realize how dangerous it was to be leaning against the well like that, and his phone call distracted him enough that I was able to sneak up on him unseen. Anyway, one of the people who questions might have caused trouble for Sai and me has vanished completely from the face of the earth, and all that's left is to eliminate the other one. Tsukuba Yo, I mustn't underestimate her. Just because she's not as aggressive as Koji, even she should be able to see a connection between the disappearances of Tona, Koji, and Japanese names. And anyway, I should be thankful that it was Yo whom Koji was talking to next to the well. If he'd reported our location to a third party, I had to track down and eliminate that person too. I'm a little worried about what they were discussing, but judging by how Koji was yelling unintelligibly onto the phone, they probably weren't exchanging detailed information. Well, either way, I better get rid of Yo as soon as possible. After walking all night long, I finally reached the Nasu Flats train station, just as the trains start running. It only takes an hour to get back to Tokyo on the Limited Express. It's not enough time to rest, but I'm feeling too wound up for that to matter. Besides, I don't want to waste any time in thinking a way to kill up Yo. Using the cabin again would be too dangerous, and I'm not sure how I would get her out of there in the first place. I just lost my temper and exploded in her face the other day. I doubt she'd be as quick to trust as Koji was, which means it'll be difficult to get her on.